What? Paw. Good job! Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Camille, this is Phoenix, this is Griffin, and you're watching Meeler Husky. If you want to find out more about Huskies or you just like watching videos of cute dogs on the internet, make sure you subscribe to this channel and tap that little notification so you never have to miss a new video. I took both of my dogs to Petcon. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a huge convention of mostly Instagram famous pets. There are YouTube famous pets there as well, and you get to meet and greet them. There are a lot of vendors. It's like a really cool event if you're a pet owner. There are dogs, cats, reptiles, like all sorts of pets. And the first year we went, we actually saw a pig. I love Petcon because it's a good opportunity for us to meet some of you guys and also for us to make other friends in the realm of pets on the internet. And Phoenix went with me the first year in New York City and had an absolute blast. She loved every minute of it. That one was 2 days. She was exhausted by the end of it. She kept smiling for everyone's pictures. That dog is a pro. This year was Griffin's first year and Petcon was only a month after we had adopted her. So I was kind of nervous about how she was gonna be in that environment. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of pets, huge crowds. It's a long day and I kind of didn't know how she was gonna be around this type of thing. So I wanted to ease her into an event like this and not just make Petcon her first event. Here are 5 ways that I was able to prepare my dog for a large crowd. First, it's important that you have a good foundation of basic commands with your dogs and essentially a good relationship with them. This was concerning to me because we had just adopted Griffin a month ago, so I didn't know how she really felt about me, but it was good because the week that I had adopted her was also the week that Phoenix had her knee surgery. If you guys didn't know, this dog is currently recovering from TPLO surgery. That is surgery for her torn ACL. It's on her other leg, so you can't see it right now. She was actually not in the house for 2 days, so I was able to just really bond with Griffin and work with her. It really helped build her trust. The other thing was Mike and Tiny were both away that week. Griffin and I really had like that time to just like be with each other. Throughout the last month or so before Petcon, Griffin has learned that I always come back after I leave the house, so it's given her a little bit more of a reassurance that like I'm her person now. And also we've been working on like what are the basic commands that she already knows. Lucky for us, she's an older rescue, however she already came knowing sit, lay down, stay. Griffin can also give a paw. Paw. Good job! So I felt pretty confident that she has a bond with me so we could go to something like this and she wouldn't be like totally freaked out. Number 2, know your dog's limits. So before Petcon, I started her out small with a couple of other things to kind of just see how she was in crowds like this. So first, I took her to a park but did not let her run off leash. So I ran with her, I walked her, she saw people, she saw other dogs, she met a bunch of people, but she was still like currently attached to me on the leash, so it wasn't like too scary. Then eventually I brought her to a dog park and mostly she just wanted to hang out by me or hide under a table. So she wasn't super into like getting chased by other dogs like this one is. She also wasn't like too fearful or aggressive, so I kind of knew that she was okay with random humans and random dogs. Next, I brought her to a smaller event. We went to the It's Bruno pop-up event, the Healthy Spot in Los Feliz, and it was only a 2-hour event. It was kind of a smaller venue. We stood in line and we still did a meet and greet with the star of the show, Bruno. Really fun to see how she was there. It was also like an introduction to like the kinds of noises that she would hear at events like this. Oh, I heard you. So there was music playing, there were people talking to me, there were other dogs there. The space was a little bit crowded, but not too crazy. And I only took her by herself because Phoenix was still recovering from her surgery, so I could really keep an eye on her. She did really well at that event, although we did find out that she's not very good at posing for pictures. But besides that, she was a complete angel and she actually seemed to really enjoy it. And finally after that was a big event, Petcon, lots of people coming up to her to pet her, lots of dogs sniffing her butt and checking her out. But the best part about Petcon for her were the treats. Number 3, keep your dog close. I had Griffin attached to me on a leash that has a belt around your waist, but I liked to keep her close because I didn't want her just wandering off and doing whatever. It's good for her to know that like you're still there, so she's not freaked out. You know, you want the dog to kind of be near you, and you can control the environment around your dog. If they're really not into like people like being in their space or lunging at them, like you can control that if they're closer to you. Which brings me to the next point, which is to stay aware of all the surroundings. Make sure that you're always keeping an eye on your dog, that they're not getting into anything, bothering any other small or big dogs in the area, or people, or just like otherwise causing havoc. When dogs are not well behaved at events like this, it kind of makes it harder for events like that to happen in the future, where you can bring your dogs, and you don't want to be the dog that ruins it for everyone. Lastly, knowing your dog has had enough. Phoenix was only at Petcon for half a day, and while I know she wanted to stay there the whole day, she started to look tired to me like halfway through the day and walking a little bit slower. I was still helping her walk around a lot with the sling, and she was wanting to sit down a little more, so I actually called Mike to pick her up so that she could go home and take a rest and just get out of that whole environment, and then Griffin and I could spend the rest of the day at the convention. People were still coming up to her and petting her like towards the end of the day, and Griffin was starting to like turn her head away. She wasn't getting aggressive, she was just like not as into it anymore. Earlier in the day she was licking everyone's entire face, and then at the end she was just like so I kind of had a feeling like that's the cue, like we're done, she's tired, it's time to go. And that's when we just like went outside and waited for our ride to come pick us up. I think this one had a great time. The next day, Griffin was completely exhausted, and Phoenix was just walking around like she had never had surgery and going into Griffin's kennel and eating her food. Let me know in the comments section below if you guys have taken your fur friends to a festival, a convention, a giant party where there were just a lot of people and a lot of pets. How did you prep your dog for that sort of thing, and how did they do in those situations? Do you have any other suggestions for the lovely viewers here that could potentially help people, because we're all just trying to help people and their doggies. It was a pleasure meeting all of you at Petcon. We love going to events like this, so if there is one that you think we should go to in your area or near you, let them know that you want to see us, and we'd love to come out there. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post new things every Wednesday. You can tap on that little circle with my face in it to subscribe. If you want to see our last video, you can go here, and if you want to check out our vlog channel, you can go down there. And now that we're at the end of this video, it's time for This Is a Pill. Alright, it's been real. See you guys next week. Bye!